Land acknowledgement. As we gather together, we acknowledge the sacred land on which we reside. It has been a site of human activity for 15,000 years. This land is the territory of the Huron-Wendat and Petun First Nations, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. The territory was the subject of Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement between the Iroquois Confederacy and Confederacy of the Ojibwe and allied nations to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, this gathering place is still the home of many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work in the community on this territory. We are also mindful of broken covenants and the need to strive to make right with all our relations. Last but certainly not least, we acknowledge the people of African descent who were brought here against their own will or in search of a safe place to live their lives and raise their children. Reconnaissance des terres. En nous rassemblant, nous reconnaissons la terre sacrée sur laquelle nous résidons. C'est un site d'activité humaine depuis 15 000 ans. Cette terre est le territoire des Premières Nations Huron-Wendat et Petun, les Scéniques et plus récemment les Mississaugas de la rivière Crédit. Le territoire était sujet de l'alliance de la ceinture Wampum plat avec cuillère, un accord entre la Confédération Iroquois et Confédération des Ojibwe et des nations alliées à partager et à prendre soin pacifiquement pour les ressources autour des Grands Lacs. Aujourd'hui, ce lieu de rassemblement est toujours le foyer de nombreux peuples autochtones de toute l'île de la Tortue et nous sommes reconnaissants d'avoir la possibilité de travailler dans la communauté sur ce territoire. Nous sommes également conscients des alliances brisées et de la nécessité de nous efforcer de guérir toutes nos relations. Dernier point, mais non le moindre, nous remercions les personnes d'ascendance africaine qui ont été amenées ici contre leur volonté ou à la recherche d'un endroit sûr où vivre leur vie et élever leurs enfants.
Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Technology.
How are you?
How is everyone doing?
Fabulous.
I am so happy to hear that. So glad to see you, Francis, Nadine, Stephany. Oh my goodness, this is such a treat today. I'm so happy to be here. How was your summer? Am I allowed to ask, how was everyone's summer?
What summer? That blur that went by that we call the summer?
Right? Wow, such a privilege. Hope everyone is doing well. Nadine, you're looking great in the red. And so happy to see everyone. So happy to see everyone. So here we are today. We're welcome to Ask a Professional at the BBPA. And we took a break over the summer, and I certainly hope that even though the weather was a bit tumultuous, I guess I would use that word, I certainly hope that you all had a time of rest and just some sort of excitement. I didn't have any excitement, but I hope you all did. So welcome back. We are back, and this season we're hoping that we will level up in all aspects of our lives. And today we get to speak with our executive team at the BBPA, Nadine Spencer, Francis Delsol, and Stephany Sani-Edwards. I'm privileged to be here amongst you, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot from each and every one of you. So first and foremost, maybe I'll start off with our program manager, Nadine, sorry, not Nadine, Stephany. How are you doing? I need to hear from, are we starting with Nadine then? I need to hear from each and every one of you, need to know how you're doing. And just tell us a little bit about your roles, and we'll get into the questions. I do have a few questions here that I'd like to ask you, and I hope that it will give some insight, not just to myself, but also to the viewers who are here. And let me just take a moment as well. To our audience members, I forgot you for a moment. Let me take a moment just to say hello. I hope you're all doing well. I'm just trying to navigate the chat here. Let me know where you're joining from. I know for some of you, it's probably still morning. It is afternoon here in the Niagara region. Okay, good afternoon from J-Cell. Okay, I do see Nadine, Siobhan, Chin. So glad to have each and every one of you. And certainly hope that you're excited as I am to hear from our executive team. And please feel free to put your questions in the chat. As well, we still have time to share. If you can someone could share the link in the chat, share it with your colleagues, your friends, and whomever else you'd like to share with. I'm certainly hoping that today will be an inspirational session, okay? Okay, Noina, you're from Hamilton. Very nice. Very, very nice. So Stephany, how are you doing? I'm starting off with you. How are you doing, sweetie?
I'm great. It's so good to see you again, Moy. It's been too long, and I'm so happy that we're back here to start up our sessions again.
Absolutely, absolutely. And sorry, Francis, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I won't tell you where I am right now, but I'm doing good. Thanks.
Okay, you're keeping it a secret, are you? And Nadine?
I want to be where Francis is right now.
Yes, okay.
I'm doing great. I feel blessed. You know, they say blessed and highly favored. As at an event last week, and Julie Black was there, and she opened up and she said, "Hello, everybody. How are you?" And they all said, "Oh, you know, they're okay." And she said, "Listen, somebody didn't wake up this morning.
Absolutely.
Somebody didn't wake up this morning. So we're awesome. We're great."
No, thank you for saying that, Nadine. It's so often that we take the little things for granted.
Yeah.
And being able to gather here, even on a Zoom platform, is such a privilege because, I mean, we have electricity, we have Wi-Fi, we have our breath. We don't need any assistance to do that. We can grab our cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is that you're drinking at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And it really is a privilege. So you're absolutely right. Thank you so much for sharing that. So privileged again, once again, just to have all of you. I do have a couple questions just so that we can get a little bit familiar with all of you and what we do at the BBP. I mean, you do such an amazing work. There's so many things that you're doing with the Little Jamaica projects, the networking events, really connecting individuals and professionals and really doing, I mean, I can't think of any other organization within Canada that does what you do, right? So kudos to you and kudos to all the work that is put into this, you know, so that we could even gather here on a platform like this to provide information to professionals and up and coming entrepreneurs. It's truly an amazing vision that you have here. And I'm going to ask just for a brief overview of the BBPA's mission and its key objectives or achievements over the years. I'm not sure who wants to take that question, but maybe
I'll take
Frank
it.
says
I'll
it's
leave it to you to
go to
decide.
this.
Yeah, I don't mind taking it to start. You know, 43 years ago when Denim Jolly started this organization, it was to address one simple thing. The fact that Black entrepreneurs in this country didn't have equal opportunity as others did. And he created at the Underground Railroad at the time with eight other individuals, Jean Augustine, Kamala Jean Gopi, and many others, Cynthia Reyes, Hamlin Grange, were part of that meeting to really look at an organization that would do exactly what we're doing right now. And it's interesting because I speak to Denim Jolly a lot over the years. And, you know, one day he called me up and he said, Nadine, the organization and what is happening now with the programming, with the advocacy and all of the things that you're doing, he said it went beyond my dreams. It really went beyond the founders' dreams in terms of what we imagined that this organization would be. And so fast forward 43 years, you'll hear from Stephany, Sani-Edwards, our director of programs. You'll hear from Francis Delsol, our VP of partnerships, outreach, procurement, and now operations, of the amount of work that we have done and we are continuing to do in this organization, reaching out to entrepreneurs one-on-one and nationally across the country, providing them with culturally representative services that meets them and their particular needs as Black entrepreneurs, addressing issues like access to capital, access to networks, access to training, access to procurement opportunities, all of those things that the founding members of the organization imagined would be what we're doing today. So I'm very proud of what we're doing. And I do want to start at the top of the hour with, you know, I am the CEO now, but we are going to be looking for a new CEO to take the baton, to take it to the next level. You know, I will be stepping down. That was part of our plan when we converted from a governance board into from a working board into a governance board. And, you know, behind me there, you can, over there, you can see my BBPA Harry Drum Award that I got in 2016. And then I served as president in 2017. And part of what, you know, we learn as Black organizations and as entrepreneurs is that we have to have that succession plan. And the succession plan has been, if you have a business, what is the legacy of your business? How do you continue? How do you build and expand your mission vision when you're not there? Because we all know a good plan is one when you can step out and someone else takes the reins, someone else takes the baton to the next level, as in any race. And so we have Francis Delsol, Francis and I started on the board in 2017 together. And we have an incredible team at the BBPA that will continue to work and build the next legacy, the next sustainable plan for the organization. So there's a lot of exciting things ahead. And as we build to the next era, I want you all to be a part of this journey with us. I see Chris Alexander on the call. I see J-Cell Murphy, one of our strong supporters. And I see many others. I see Juliet as well. But, you know, we look forward to growing and continue to building together as one Black community unified together.
Snap, snap, baby. Thank you so much. That was incredible. Thank you. You've said so many things, and I am excited just the same for what is to come. But I do want to take a moment. You mentioned Denim Jolly. For those of you who don't know who that is, please Google it. Because I only learned of Denim Jolly, and I'm a bit ashamed to say this, I only learned of him a couple of years ago. It was a Black History Month event that I was doing, and I was looking for Canadians who had done amazing things. And I came across his name, never knew that he was the founder of the BBPA. So we need to just acknowledge him as well for the incredible vision that he had. And then also to the amazing people who has come after him to continue that vision. Nadine, thank you for the incredible work that you do. And I must say, I am a bit sort of sad that you won't be our CEO anymore, but I know business is business. Like you said, the succession plan is important and we're following suit, right? We're doing what we got to do. So thank you so much for sharing that. And the next question that I have is really understanding the challenges. I know, Francis, maybe you can grab this question. What are the most common challenges Black entrepreneurs face in today's business landscape? We know Nadine mentioned something as we give access to funding and all of that wonderful stuff. And I know that's a big one, even for myself. It has been for years. What do you have to say about that, Francis?
You know, the work, first of all, Moy, thanks for your compliments. You know, it is, the work we do is encouraging, difficult, sometimes extremely unrewarding, but we still do it because we see the difference it's making in society. So as Nadine said, you know, we're 40 years plus in Canada as a leading Black advocacy organization. Our work has highlighted, and we continue to highlight, systemic barriers that impede Black entrepreneurial success. Our work and our research has shown that for years, lack of access to capital was a predominant feature or a predominant hindrance in the road to progress. That's why the BBPA in 2018 was one of 5 organizations who lobbied the government for funding to address this failure in the system. The BAIDS program, which came out of that funding, has proven tremendously successful. We've given hundreds of applicants opportunities to get access to capital. And as a result of the support we gave them, they are now faring much better. But we go beyond that. In addition to access to capital, we see that our entrepreneurs face limited access to networks, limited access and that's why we have a program called Blacks on Board. It's one of our oldest programs. But we do that because we think our Black entrepreneurs, our Black professionals need to understand what it takes to be on a board. So we offer that program. We offer our mentorship program, and Stephany will talk more about that. And our mentors come in all stripes, in all shapes, in all colors, because we believe providing diverse mentorship is an opportunity for our membership to have access into the real world. So we deliver programs like financial literacy that speaks to generational wealth, because one of the things we didn't have, or we don't have in our Black community, is that foundation that ingrains in us as we're born and as we grow up, the importance of generational wealth. In Little Jamaica, for example, we saw that many businesses during, before and after the pandemic could not survive. We spoke to them and put in programs that supported them. Today, they are very appreciative of the work that we do and the work that Michelle, our office manager, does. So, I mean, the work continues. We cannot stop, because our slogan, no Black business will be left behind, we take that seriously.
Listen, I hope you're all listening. I hope you are all listening to what is available to you, because oftentimes within our communities, what we tend to say is that there is no support. But what you're hearing here is you have a people who have developed and created a vision to help you thrive within all of the barriers that we do face. And I know you talked about the systemic barriers, Francis. Maybe we'll give this to Nadine. How does the BBPA advocate for policy changes or initiatives that address systemic barriers faced by Black entrepreneurs?
Yeah, you know, Moy, that's a great question. And how we address that is that we have to be in the room when these conversations are happening. We have to be at the table when these conversations are happening. And one of the things that I'm very proud of that we've done is when there wasn't a table, we showed up anyway and we made our own. We made our own table. We found, if the table was full, I literally got there and squeezed into a spot so we could have our voices heard. I remembered one of the first years when I went to Ottawa with representing the BBPA, there really wasn't a space, but you know, we pulled up a chair and we sat down and we talked about the issues that our entrepreneurs were facing and the supports that we needed. Because money is one thing, and obviously, definitely we need the money, but I always say currency comes in different forms. And those different forms you heard Francis talk about, it is the mentorship and the true mentorship. And I think one of the most important pieces is the sponsorship. So the difference between sponsorship and mentorship, as we know, is someone taking you by the hand, bringing you into the space and saying, this is Nadine or Ross or Fran or Stephany from the BBPA. You need to hear their voices. You have to open the channels of opportunity so our voices can be heard at these tables. At the BBPA, we continue to do that, not just at the federal level, but at the provincial level and at the city. And if you look at our trajectory, and if you look at our history and what we've done over the past 40 years, and more so over the past 7 years, it is those relationships and the advocacy that have brought us the projects in Little Jamaica, made us a part of the Federation of African Canadian Economics, provided us the resources for BAIS, which is the Business Advisor Implementation Development Services Fund. Also with the scholarships as well, you know, the scholarship fund that we receive, all of that is part of a strategic, intentional approach to meet with government, meet with partners, and to hear the stories of Black entrepreneurs, Black professionals, and Black students in this country, coast to coast. I think one of the main things that we champion at the BBPA in terms of advocacy, and we'll do that into perpetuity, is to be the voice for the voiceless. For the entrepreneurs who come to us and they say, I don't have the business acumen, I don't have the business vernacular, and all of those pieces. Our job is to be their voices, and we will continue to do that year after year.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Let me just get in the chat for a moment. J-Cell Murphy says there's an entire network of support here at the BBPA. Thank you. Thank you. And this is to all of you. Denham Jolly was solely responsible for bringing the first urban radio station to Alberta, an amazing visionary indeed, blessings upon blessings. And truly bittersweet. We will miss you, Nadine, but an example you setting for us, always leading by example. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is one of the reasons why, let me say this first, Sarah, thank you, Nadine, for your stellar leadership. Denham Jolly is also a visionary in Canadian Black media. Now, this is very inspirational. I hope you're all having a wonderful time. For those of you who are just joining, we are meeting with our executive team at the BBPA, and they're sharing lots of amazing and incredible nuggets about the work that they've done and the passion that comes from it, or the passion that they have for the Black community, and so forth. So the next questions, we're going to go into Stephany. I know you've been quiet for a while, and you are sort of like that silent giant, if you want to call it that, because you're very quiet, but we know that there's so much that is put into the programming at the BBPA, and we want you to talk a little bit about that. What are the main objectives of the upcoming programs, and how do they align with the BBPA's long-term vision? Is that something you're able to answer for me?
Absolutely, Moy. You're speaking my language now. And thank you so much for, doing what you do and representing us so well. So first, I'm going to touch back on what Nadine started with speaking about, the long-term vision of the BBPA. At the BBPA, what we're really looking to do is create an empowered and thriving Black entrepreneurial ecosystem, one that really serves to share knowledge, resources, and opportunities, and ensure that they're accessible by all. In order to do this, we really take on a threefold approach. The first of which is providing targeted training and skill building opportunities for Black entrepreneurs. For many people, they've seen us implement the Delsol program over the last year and a half, where we shared and taught over 500, closer to 600 Black entrepreneurs skill training at various levels. We met them where they were and provided them the knowledge that they needed to thrive and move to the next level. Secondly, we look to foster a sense of community, connectivity, and mentorship across the community, across the Black professional community. You see this through various events like our networking events, workshops that we hold, as well as the mentorship program. And lastly, we aim to amplify the visibility and impact of Black-owned businesses across the broader market. One of the ways we do that is with our Diversity Summit with Loblaws. We bring our Black entrepreneurs onto the main stage and put them in front of the largest retailer in North America. What better way to do this? So those are the three main objectives that we have that support the BBPA's long-term vision.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Thank you. Did you want to, I feel like you weren't finished your thought. Did you want to finish up?
I can't give too much away one time. We still have another half an hour with you. So
That's right. And for those who are tuning in, if you can just maybe keep your pen and pad close by, write your questions down. We will have a segment for a question and answer as well. I have another question for you, and I hope you didn't answer it. How are the BBPA's programs tailored to enhance the skill sets of Black entrepreneurs, especially in the areas of, especially where they're underserved?
Yeah, so for us, we really look at, meeting people where they are, right? We're committed to ensuring that our programs meet the nuanced needs of Black entrepreneurs. We carry out extensive research. We partner with Diversity Institute in a lot of the programs that we implement to ensure that our programs are research-based. We do have feedback sessions. We have opportunities for our entrepreneurs to let us know, what are those needs that we're not addressing, and how do we close those gaps? We, Francis and Nadine both spoke about the access to capital. That is a huge area of work that we need to do within this community. So we have an entire program dedicated to helping Black entrepreneurs access that capital and how to access other funding sources and navigate the various systemic barriers. And we collaborate with industry experts to ensure that we remain relevant and our community is always receiving top-notch guidance.
Mm-hmm. I know Nadine spoke about mentorship versus sponsorship and all of that. In terms of your mentorship programs, do you have mentorship programs at the BBPA that specifically cater to the Black entrepreneurs seeking guidance in their ventures?
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we do differently from everybody else. We mentor you based on where you are. The mentorship for entrepreneur mentorship, it starts with our scholarship recipients. These are future entrepreneurs. So we mentor them through through their schooling. We show them how to use the skills that they are acquiring through school to help them along their entrepreneur journey. We also have entrepreneurial mentorship programs that are specific to the industry that the entrepreneur is either wanting to enter or they're currently in. And we pair you with a seasoned professional to help hold your hand and guide you through that process.
Yeah, and I also want to add to that, you know, my mother, a Jamaican woman, she always, this is one of her expressions: once a task has begun, never leave it till it's done. Be the labor, great or small, do it well or not at all. And that really embodies what we do at the BBPA in many, many ways. Because, and I think what I'm most impressed with is our team, the way our team at the BBPA, they say the extra mile at the BBPA. Our team, we go the extra 10 miles in order to make things happen. So when I think about mentorship, we have our formal mentorship, which Stephany spoke about, but we have mentorship. You know, I know Francis gets calls. Francis gets calls at all hours of the day and night. A lot of them are from me as well, in addition to entrepreneurs. But we have that internal, you know, collegial type of mentorship as well amongst one another. And I think that is one of the greatest things that we do as an organization. We are truly a family. We're truly a family. I can call any member of the team to say, hey, can you support me in this area? You know, Francis is one of these individuals. I'll call on Stephany. You know, I called on OSAS yesterday to do something in the 9th hour. When we work with the Black community and we're in service, there's no time. There is no time in terms of it's 9 to 5. You know, as Francis says, if you want a job, this is not for you. Like, because when you're in service to the Black community, we have to be available all the time. And so our mentorship program extends beyond even what Stephany has mentioned, because we all do it with the individuals that calls us. We meet them where they're at in their time of need.
Yeah, and I'll add as well, Moy, under the BAIDS program, we've received more than 1,500 applications and served in excess of 500. But what we do is our service providers not only help them with the needs, they mentor them as well. So when a service provider prepares a business plan for you, it's not just a business plan. It's giving you that additional mentorship that you need. Or if an accountant does your taxes for you, it's guiding you into the next step, into the next season and what needs to be done. So even there, in every program that we offer, there is some element of mentorship and support. And that's what we do. That's just who we are at the BBPA.
Very nice. Very nice. My heart is so warmed right now, honestly. But I do want to go on to some questions regarding your networking events and so forth. Maybe Stephany can answer that as well. But before I do that, because I'm hearing each and every one of you speak, and there's so much passion and so much drive to help the Black community. And Francis, I heard you say something earlier about sometimes it does feel unrewarding. You said that earlier, and I know very well that what that's like, but you keep investing, you keep putting the work in, you get your hands dirty, and you're accepting calls late at night, even if it's from Nadine. You're accepting calls from the community members, and you know, we do this work, and I'm Stephany, I see the work that you put in. What inspires each and every one of you? I'd love to just get, you know, from each and every one of you, what inspires you to do this work? And why have you not said at this point, you know what, I can't do this anymore? Because we know there's work. We know there's work.
You know, I can start more. No is not an option. No is never an option for us at the BBPA. We do the work. We make it happen. But I think it's something that is ingrained in you. And that's why Nadine said, I always say to the staff, if you're looking for a job, and I said that after when I was at Bell, 35 years in corporate, if you are looking for a job, this is not for you. Make this a career. You must have a passion. You must love people. You must want to see them change. But I also grew up in a family of people. My mother was a school principal. My dad was a police officer. All I saw was supporting community. So for me, this wasn't new. And when I went to Bell and I worked for 35 years, I made it a point of duty to make sure I brought small businesses along with me. And I've remained friends with many of them, some of them from the First Nations reservation. So I've made it, this is just something it's not something that you can teach somebody. It's something that you must have in you. And that is why, as much as sometimes you feel unrewarded, you wake up the next morning with that vigor and that vitality to continue, because you know the work is not done. You know there is still a lot to be done. But yes, it's something that you have to have ingrained in you to want to make a difference in your community, not for money, not for recognition, but because we know the work has to be done and somebody has to do it.
Yeah,
Well
exactly.
said. Well said.
She's, Fran is She's so right. You know, our old treasurer, Michael Pinnock, he says, you know, Black people, we can't die in our sleep like everybody else. You know, we have to die fighting. And if we want to give honor to our predecessors and our generational leaders that have brought us to this point, we opened up with Denim Jolly, finding this organization 43 years ago. It is our mission and it's our mandate that we have to stay in the game, and we have to stay available, right, for the needs of our people. We all know my own story as an entrepreneur. I became an entrepreneur at the age of 12. I believe in entrepreneurship as a viable opportunity for the Black community. It is our only option. It really is. It really is our own option, because through entrepreneurship, we're able to hire people that look like us. You know, so in a world where there can be discrimination, there are systemic challenges, we have to make that opportunity for each other. And, you know, as I'm sitting here on my desk, so I have, you know, I have this product called Untainted Sea Mask Body Cream, because I'm true to the brand. So this is what I put on my hands when my hands get dry. And this is by one of our entrepreneurs, Kadeja, who, when she started, she was, you know, making product in her apartment, and now she's in a facility. So how could we not champion that? What is, you know, that we have to be passionate about advancements like that. And now she has a product. It just came back from New York. She's already expanding her market. Her life has already changed. And when her son sees her, his narrative is going to change based on what he sees his mother doing. I mean, how impressive is that? How impressive is that? So that is why we do what we do.
This is so incredible. Nadine, you said entrepreneurship is our only option. Did we all just, I got that. I really got that, because I believe it with everything inside of me. And Francis, what you said about it being innate, the passion and the drive that you have, it's not something that is taught. I mean, there's technical skills that you can teach, but when it comes to the drive and the passion and the dedication that you have to the Black community, it is an innate thing. It is a natural drive. And I'm so appreciative of all of that. Oh my gosh, so much more to say. But Stephany, I want to hear your story.
I think anybody who knows me, who has interacted with me, knows what my why is. My why is very personal to me, and it is 3 people that I brought into this world. My children do not stand a chance of having a better future unless we change the narrative for all Black Canadians. And that is my why.
Wow, snap. I feel like just I wish you could, like, mic drop right there. And I know, Nadine, you touched on it. We're talking about legacy. This is not just creating a product or service in exchange for money. This is creating a legacy for our Black people, for our families, and this is absolutely amazing. Thank you once again for the passion and the drive. Now, let's hear a little bit more about the networking. We talked about the networking events that you do have. I often miss a lot of them, I must say. And I want to, more advertising, I think, around the networking events. But sorry, Stephany, maybe you can share a little bit more about how, about the networking events and how we use those events to help to support our entrepreneurs.
I'm actually going to pass this one over to Frances, our networking queen, who just arranged the fabulous event we had.
Sure.
I have many titles, but I've never been called networking queen. Well, you know, Moy, what we do is we just share the good news. We don't keep things to ourselves, right? So a few weeks ago, we held a networking session, for example. We had a very dynamic, young, Black keynote speaker. And the thing about him was that he was prepared to share his story from whence he came to where he was, and to give all the tips and tricks to help others come along with him. Because not everybody wants to bring people up, understand that. Yes. But we have the knack to go out there and find those in the community. That's how we found Miss Spencer, right? So we go out there and we find people. And so this dynamic speaker came out and just wrapped his arms around a group of entrepreneurs we invited. But we also invited some of our donors, our sponsors, and we invited 20 entrepreneurs to display their products. Not that we thought any of the sponsors were going to pick up the products, but we wanted them to know what each other was doing. So when you promote your creams, promote Simeon's book, and Simeon will promote your MCT and so on and so forth. So unity of Black entrepreneurs, right? And that's what we're going to continue doing. I mean, this one was sorry you missed that, but we will have others. It's going to be one of our flagship offerings. We partner with Loblaw, for example, on Ready to Scale. And Loblaw is Canada's largest, one of the largest corporations. And what they do is they allow our members to pitch to them so the products can get on the shelves. How better can this get? And through this effort, we've managed to get a number of products on the shelves. But the good thing about it is some of them didn't get on the Loblaw shelves, but they got on other shelves of other leading organizations like Walmart, because we gave them that push. We told them in no uncertain terms, you have the ability, the capacity to be on the shelves. And that's what gave them the strength to say, I didn't make it at Loblaw, but I can go to Walmart. I can go to Sobeys. And so because of that program, quite a number of them have done it. We've got the Rise Up Pitch competition. Its third year was quite successful. And we have a 2021 winner, Brittany Charlton of All Foods, who is now taking the world by storm. But she started at Rise Up in our first year. So we share success stories. We encourage them to go out there. We do the pitch competitions that give them the strength and the encouragement and the purpose. So like I said, we just wrap ourselves around our Black entrepreneurs and tell them that they have the right and the ability to move on forward and to grow and to be on the shelves with Canada's best. We don't hesitate to tell them that. So that really is what we do, Moy. So we'll see you at the next networking session. I will make sure as the queen of networking.
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm sure Nadine might want to add some more on that.
I do want to add, I think, a lot of individuals, they say to us that they have challenges with networking, of walking into a room and just expressing and talking about their business and themselves. And these networking opportunities gives them the chance to flex that muscle, to work that muscle and then become good at it. Because how you become great at networking and walking into a room of strangers and talking about yourself or your product, especially as a Black entrepreneur, is by practice. So when you're able to sit in front of the Loblaw buying team, I mean, you couldn't get any better than that. It's, it's your MBA in networking, really, because you get an opportunity to pitch to the leaders to understand what their criteria is and then learning from that. And so you refine it and you get better and better. We've had women in the Rise Up Pitch competition who applied all 3 years, but every year they get better. And then, in the third year, they'll win. So it's really a great opportunity to practice a new skill in that environment as well.
Amazing. Wonderful. I know as an entrepreneur, for many individuals, it's isolating, right? And that hope that you give them, the reinforcement, the encouragement is so important, because it is so easy to give up at times, right? Because we feel like we're alone in all of this. But it's so good to know that we have a community of individuals who truly care about our success. I have here a Joe Harry that says BBPA was the first organization to take what they were doing seriously, and he'll always be grateful for the introduction, support, open doors, and impact. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Ryan Singh, having had my business plan created through BAID's program has propelled my vision for my company as I continue to document stories in the Black community. Okay, and then Jaisel, you have a question. I do have a question about the mentorship program and would like to share a testimonial for the Globe and Mail event. I'm not sure that doesn't, would you bear with me a moment? I do have a question about the mentorship program and would like to share a testimony for the Globe. So this is another event coming up and you'd like to share a testimonial for that? Is that what you're saying?
I think she wants to come on live and talk about it, because she was one of the entrepreneurs that we afforded the opportunity to display her product. That might be what she wants.
Yeah. So
okay,
if our support could unmute Jaisel, you can come on up and say.
Thank you so much. Oh my word. So many things to say on this call. Number one is thank you to the BBPA for everything that you do for us entrepreneurs across Canada. I have heard and met so many people who have interacted with this organization and have nothing but success stories to share with me, whether their interaction be great or even small. And so I'll start off with my testimonial because it has to do, number one, with sponsorship, but then also with the BBPA drawing us entrepreneurs in and giving us these opportunities to sit at the table. I was offered a table at the Globe and Mail event, the one that we held recently. I can't recall which month it was. These months are going by so quickly. But I was fortunate enough to meet a contractor, Keys to Your Home, Kezia, who was also a vendor at the event. Kezia was working on a program with Home and Garden Television and pulled me in to do some work with them. And so we have since made this incredible relationship. We are now working together, and Love Cleaning is now able to say that through the BBPA, I'm working with HGTV. And so I just wanted to say thank you for making that huge, huge, huge connection. I mean, you can't buy that. You just have to be in the right space at the right time. As Nadine says, you always have to be ready. And as Fran says, there is no. When somebody offers you an opportunity, you make yourself available. I don't care if you have to go to Sephora and get your makeup done that morning. I don't care if you have to go to Winners and grab whatever it is that you need to make your table available. You do that, right? You just have to constantly be ready, prepared to show up. So thank you for that. Thank you tremendously for that opportunity.
Thank you so much for sharing that. How incredible is that? Talk about success stories.
Truly, truly.
Yeah, that's why I said that's the whole idea. We want them to know about each other. So we will be doing it bigger next year because we want more of them to be there. We have to promote each other, if not us whom, right? We have to get into that mindset that we aren't competing with each other. We are supporting and building each other up is what we're doing.
Absolutely. Erica says, I worked as a volunteer with the Harry Jerome Awards for several years. Skills I've learned. Now I do event planning, event production and marketing. Also became a regular contributor to Sway magazine because of a meeting at the HJA. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is amazing. This is absolutely incredible. We do have a couple more questions, but we will open it up also for our audience members as well. We want to talk about partnerships. Are there any new collaborations or partnerships with the BBPA that you're exploring with the new programming and in the upcoming future?
I think that's a Nadine question, but I'll tell you more. As we tell the world about the work that we do, what we see on their faces, and I tell my team, just share amazement. And sometimes you think, have I bored them to death? Are they not interested? And then I'll say, is there anything I did that you didn't say that you didn't like? And they go, no. We're just amazed that this organization is delivering that many programs, supporting that many entrepreneurs. And the next thing you hear is, how can I help? So on a daily basis, we have a stream of people just asking, how can I help? Because they're just so impressed with the work we do and the success stories that we tell. Nadine will talk about the fact that we're making foray into the US, because the story of the Black entrepreneur in the US is the same as the Black entrepreneur in Canada. So we have similar stories, and in sharing those stories, other people are coming on board. We're not going to give you a secret sauce and tell you who's currently in the pipeline, but we are expanding our networking and our sponsorship opportunities every day as we speak. But I'll defer to the CEO to tell you what she wants to tell you.
Absolutely. My mother always said to me, they said God can dream a bigger dream than you can dream for yourself. And my mother always said, Nadine, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. God going to do with you because your dreams are so big, and especially when it comes to our Black community, our dreams are very big. And, the board does support that visionary perspective in terms of what we want to bring for entrepreneurs. So one of the areas that I will share with you is the partnership that's going to be coming up with EDC. We're really looking to work with Black entrepreneurs expanding their businesses across the borders, especially with technology today. And to be competitive, you have to look, your business just can't be in your local community, in your province, in your country. You really have to look at that global expansion. And here's the thing. Even if, we sort of go through the process and, Kadej or whomever or Delsol decides, the international expansion isn't for me at the moment, what they will acquire is the knowledge for what it takes. And that only makes your local business plan or your national business plan even better. So over the next while, you'll see, under Stephany and Francis's leadership, they will be rolling out that export plan for entrepreneurs who we want to get ready to take their business overseas to the next level. And that is very much of an exciting plan, because as an entrepreneur myself, I remembered when I owned a food company and I did very well in Canada, but I'll never forget when I got to the United States and I got that first purchase order, I thought, oh my goodness, it was phenomenal for my business, truly phenomenal. And here's what was interesting. When I navigated the American market, including getting my product on the Oprah list and then when I came back to Canada, I got full page editorial in Food and Drink. So it's another way also of marketing your business, because the preparation you need for that global expansion will make you over ready for the Canadian market, which also helps. So very exciting. And then we continue to partner with government, because we have to partner with government at the high level, looking at reducing systemic barriers. So in the banking industry, how do we really develop our skill set, develop our business plans and so forth, so we can get those bank loans, we can get those face loans as we build our businesses. So we'll continue to build those partnerships. And as we roll out our constituents, all of you online, Moy, you will know, because we'll need all of you to help share the story and share the word as well. Because, the work that we do is not in a vacuum. And how you can help us to do the work that we do is share the content. It's so important. Get engaged with our content online. Come to the sessions, because it is critical that our partners see that we do have a Black community that is engaged and committed to supporting one another.
Very key, very key. I think that's very important. Let's remain committed to sharing this information. I think it's our human responsibility, that if there's something good, I know Francis said this earlier, that if we learn something new, if we know there's something that's good for us, we should want to share it. It should just be this innate thing within us to want to share the good news or the good things that we've learned. Delsol wants to know, in terms of mentorship programs, are there any restrictions for mentors? For example, do you need to be in business for a certain number of years to be before you're considered as a mentor?
So I will take that one. No. And I say no because we have a very broad mentorship program. We have our Power of Mentorship event that caters to high school students. We have our university mentorship program, which caters to our scholarship recipients, as well as any Black youth that wants to be mentored. And then we have our entrepreneurial mentorship program. We believe every Canadian, every Black Canadian, every stage of their life has something that they can contribute to the generation that's coming up behind them. Do we vet our mentors? Absolutely. Because we want to make sure that, one, you're coming in with the right motivation, the right heart, and the right skill sets. We go through a robust matching process to make sure that you are paired with the right mentee. So no, you do not need to have a certain tenure in your industry, but yes, we do need a certain caliber of individual to mentor our youth.
Thank you so much. And we are about almost 11 minutes before we end our show. Thank you for answering that, Stephany. Audience members, we are here and we're listening to the executive team. We're hearing the inspirational stories, the success stories. We're hearing the drive, the energy, and the passion that comes from doing what the BBPA does. Put your questions in the chat. They are here to answer your questions. Please put them in the chat.
So Moy, while you're waiting for a question, I know that you read a comment from Joe Harry earlier. I'll just say that our community needs to listen closely, because we will be working with Joe going forward, and he's going to have he has a great product that the BBP is going to help in definitely promoting and enhancing the Black entrepreneur. So you'll be hearing more about Joe Harry in the next few weeks. So.
Go Joe Harry. Yes, I'd love to. Can't wait to hear. Bear with me a moment. Okay, any questions? Am I missing any? 1 second. Bear with me here. I have a touch screen, so sometimes it trips me up. Let me see. Am I missing any questions, Stephany? Can you see any questions in the chat here? If I'm missing, I feel like I can't see any.
No, I haven't seen any questions, unless they've been directly messaged to an individual. I think you've covered all of them that are there.
Okay. Now,
But there's talk about Kezia, who was at the networking event and who was who displayed at the networking event. She's the first Black woman with a home show on HGTV, which is what Giselle spoke about. So we also have to give her a big props because
yes.
this is excellent work that she's done.
And if
Excellent.
anybody else, Kezia was also a part of our Black Women in Trade Ask a Professional that we did last March.
Mm-hmm.
And she will be a panelist for our Power of Mentorship for our youth that is happening October 17th.
Thank you for that. So do look out for Kezia doing big things on HGTV. Jacob wants to know, he says, they say, I'm in Quebec and own a startup tech platform designed to provide solution for BIPOC businesses. Who should I reach out to for partnership and other supports needed to scale? That's Francis Delsol. Maybe we can put your email. Is that okay, Francis? We can put your email address in the
I can
chat.
do that.
Certainly. And are you all inspired? You know, Nadine, you all said things that really are inspiring, but Nadine, you said that if you don't have what did you say? If you don't have a seat at the table, pull up your own chair. Did you guys hear that?
Please get in there.
Oh my gosh. Anything that you've learned, let me hear anything that you've learned from today's session, just, you know, from the nuggets that you've taken from these wonderful individuals. Congrats to all the panel members. Very inspiring stuff for Francis. Again, this touch screen is not. For Francis, can you speak more about the BBPA reach nationally?
I'll be glad to. Sorry, I was responding to a question. I didn't correct my typo, but I did. Our outreach under the Bates program has been phenomenal. We went out we've done 2 national outreach programs. We went to the farthest ends of Canada from coast to coast to coast. We were in Nunavut, and then we were in the Northwest Territories, in Yukon, where it's just covered in ice. We found Black businesses there. And what we found in them was a sense of resilience we had never experienced before. Because in living and operating in those communities cannot be easy for a Black entrepreneur. Yet you know, we met one man who said he had a restaurant. He's an Ethiopian who had a restaurant. Until the pandemic, he was a successful business. He had never asked for government assistance, came here as a refugee and opened up his business. And so we had an obligation to help these people. We went to St. John, New Brunswick. We found a community of Black entrepreneurs who just opened their arms to us. And what they actually said was, initially, we find it hard to believe you're going to give us those supports at no cost to us. Yes. We had a hard time telling them, yes, we will wrap our arms around you. We will support you. We'll give you the support you need for you to grow. And we found in St. John, New Brunswick, Sean, although I don't want to butcher his last name, so I won't say it, but he was an immigrant. He came in as an immigrant. He was a Harry Jerome Award winner, but he's gone on to be, he's now working on his PhD, and he has a successful green transportation business. And because of Bates and our influence, he got the DHL agreement, the sole DHL delivery agreement for that part of New Brunswick. We found a car dealership in Nigerian Partners Inc. And they export cars. They repair and export cars. We are finding across the Canadian coast Black entrepreneurs who are successful, but just who need support. So this year we will be going out again. Well, the year is almost done, but over the next couple of months, we will be going out, we will be reaching again to our Black businesses in PEI, in Alberta, across Canada. We'll do some in Southern Ontario as well, but we will be going across the country share our good news stories, to let them know we're here to help them, and to just lift up our Black entrepreneurs. I'm sure Nadine loves this piece, so I know she wants to add more to it.
You know I do, because I'm thinking you forgot our bread guy, Niger Atlantic Bakery. Oh my goodness, the best
Where?
bread ever. So it's this bakery that makes, he has a unique recipe from Nigeria, and he makes it in this wonderful square pan. He sells out everywhere. He's in a community, a very isolated, small community called Hamptons, Saskatchewan, not Saskatchewan, Brunswick, New Brunswick, yeah. Hampton, New Brunswick. Thank you, Alatan. And the bread is unbelievable. We ate all the rolls. And it's really impressive because his branding is great, the recipes, the ingredients are great, and the flavor is absolutely delicious. So, you know, we found some gems across the country.
Yeah, and I'll just add to what Nadine said. Because of the support we've given him, and we've given him quite a significant support, he's now looking to offshoot in Ontario, and open his business in Ontario. So that's what I mean when we talk about what we do. It's not just, we don't just do a business plan and leave it with them. We ask, we want to know, what are your plans? You know, what do you have for the future? How can we help you grow further? And so you will see this is going to be one of the biggest success stories in history, in Black entrepreneurial history. It's Niger Bakery. So look out for him, Niger Bakery, and he's coming to Ontario. And when he comes, I'm telling you, woe to those others who make bread.
Oh
true.
Man, that sounds so good. That sounds so good. Thank you so much. Jacob wants to know, when are you coming to Montreal?
We will be in Montreal. We will let you know, but it will be, if Montreal is on our list for the next BEADS outreach. So Jacob, why don't you reach out to me and we can have a further conversation?
We're coming. Nous arrivons soon.
Very nice, very nice. J-Cell said, no one is ever an option. This is what she got from Fran today. So I asked, what did you learn from today's session? No is never an option. If you're looking for a job, this is not for you. This is a career. The work is not done. You have to want to make a difference. Sorry, it's a mouthful. Okay. And what else is there? Learning a lot and appreciate so very much the work that you're all doing. And Lotus says that he loved the work, that it's from the heart. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing. How do we join as a member?
Very easy. Just membership at bbpa.org. You can send an email, but if you go to the website bbpa.org, you will see the membership button there. Just sign up.
Okay, so maybe we can put that in the chat, just the link. There are a few questions as or elation. Is it my business also took advantage of corporate restructuring, legal, and I could say the 7th Laurel is now better ready to do business the right way as incorporated entity. And that was through the Bates opportunity, I'm presuming is what he's saying. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Any final words? I mean, there are a few things going on in the chat here, and we put the volunteer at bbpa.org. We've given the website for membership. What final words?
Somebody's asking, sorry, Moy. Somebody's asking, is volunteer at BBPA the best place to reach and support? No, that would be Stephany, if you want to provide the mentorship email. I think that they're asking about reaching out for support and mentorship. So
okay, yes, okay.
Yes, so for any program related inquiries, you could email bbpaprograms@bbpa.org. I will put that in the chat.
The questions are now just coming in. Does BBPA help with legal help entrepreneurs with legal services, especially in Quebec?
Yes, we do, through the BADES program. And then, yes, I've responded. We do that through the BADES program, and Olaitan, I think, has put in the link for the BADES, how to apply for BADES. But yes, we do provide service in Montreal, legal service. We provide services, wraparound services in French and in Montreal, yes.
I'm excited to see Seaweed Designs to join the BADES program. Oh my, this touch screen is not good. If someone could read that last message, please. Now I know I have to get a different screen for these sessions. Can someone read it? Can you read that for me, Stephany, if that's okay?
I'm not sure which
The
question.
seaweed.
I'm so
The
excited
seaweed.
for
I'm
Seaweed
excited.
Designs to join the BIDS program. I can feel the passion in everything the speakers are saying. So Seaweed Designs was also displayed at our networking event. We met her at a Black women's event was done with TMU and the BBPA. She came in. We invited her to join, and so she's looking on to the bigger and better things that BIDS can provide. Yes.
Thank you so much, Francis. Now, this is it, everyone. This has been truly a treat. I'm going to leave Nadine just to say the final word as we go. We are at time right now. We'll answer your questions. I guess we can just send the questions in and maybe address them afterwards. Nadine, what is your final word as we
someone
wrap
wrote in the chat if I'm leaving. And so yes and no, I'm leaving the role of CEO, but however, I am the immediate past president at the BBPA. I am a BBPA Harry Jerome Award winner. There's my award back over there. And I will forever be a friend and supporter, a trusted advisor, mentor to the Black business community specifically, because our future, as I said, lies in entrepreneurship, our generational wealth, our foundation for the future of our children and our people lies in entrepreneurship. And I will forever be bonded with this cause. And as I teach and I mentor and I do all the things that I do in whichever corners of the world that I do, I will always talk about the work that we have done together, because it's not just Nadine, it's with an amazing group of people that have put their trust in me and supported me and championed me and mentored me and sponsored me through this journey. We collectively have done this together, and we collectively must move forward together as we continue to build a bright, prosperous future for entrepreneurs in this country and globally. Thank you. Merci.
Well said. Well, there you go. That is it. I do have a few announcements. This coming Wednesday, we have, this was today, September 30th to December 2nd, we will be having Reclaim Your Credit Power with Tafari Bailey and Shaquille Hall. That's Saturdays at 10 a.m. So please stay tuned for that. And also we do have, so these are the Reclaim Your Credit Power. These are the dates and the different subject matters: understanding credit and scores. You have a break during the Thanksgiving, credit repair techniques and negotiations, establishing positive credit history, budgeting for credit rebuilding, and so much more. Please join us September 30th to December the 2nd. And we also have BADES returning every Thursday, starting October the 12th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. And then next Wednesday, which is October the 4th, I will get the opportunity to speak with SHAD Canada on youth programs. I speak with Michelle McFarlane, who's the EDI manager. Okay, that's next week, Wednesday. Please join me, Moy Fung. I am your host. It's been an absolute privilege and honor to speak with our executive team today. And thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next week.
Great. Thank you as well, Moy, for all that.
Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone.
So take care, Moy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon, everyone.
You too.